Well, hello everyone. It's been a minute, hasn't it? I haven't been streaming lately, mostly because I've been kind of under the weather. And to be honest with you, I'm still not feeling great today, but we need to get back in the saddle and we need to give it a try. And I decided to do a little bit of a I don't know if this is going to be a light stream. I really shouldn't call it a light stream because I don't know that it is a light stream because the topic is actually pretty serious, but it will be a stream where I don't have to exert as much energy on it because we are going to be spending most of our time today, though not all of our time today, but most of our time today watching this video that I was directed to by a member of my community regarding the situation with Elijah Blue. Now, I have really hesitated to comment on this situation, mostly because, to be quite frank, I personally find what's being done to Elijah Blue to be a little disgusting. I do. I think that and we'll talk more about this as the stream goes on, but just to give you kind of like my high level bullet points, I think that every single person who has a platform on the internet has a past. Every single one of them. And I actually wrote an article for one of my Substacks, so not my main Substack, yesterday. Or actually, probably late last night, I wrote this called Cancel Culture is Utterly Narcissistic, in which I directly address the situation, and I'll just read you a little bit of it, and I'll put my Red Pill Diaries Substack into the chat if you want to go and subscribe to this one. This is a site where I basically like talk about whatever I want to talk about, just thoughts, random narcissistic, slightly narcissistic thoughts on my red pill journey. And here's what I wrote about the Elijah situation from last night. I talked about narcissism. Let me see. Here it is. The political right has decided to cancel Elijah Blue in the last few weeks. Elijah has a past and may have fabricated things regarding whether or not she was a victim of human trafficking. And then she got the accounts locked of a few whiny influencers, and that was apparently enough to wipe out all of the legitimately good work she's done regarding to fighting sex trafficking and child porn on Twitter. To me, this just looks like another case of the political right eating someone that is on their team for no good reason. Everyone has a past, and I promise you that if you expect your influencers to be perfect or to pass some sort of purity test, you will always end up disappointed. What exactly is being gained by canceling her? Nothing. What is being lost? Someone who is legitimately doing work to fight trafficking and abuse. No one else was spreading awareness like Elijah was, is, slash, will hopefully continue to do. The reason they're eating her alive is she was getting too much attention. So they found a flaw, something juicy they could distract the sheep that would distract the sheepish masses, and they poked it. Then they engaged in a massive campaign of confirmation bias to show you evidence or selective evidence that reinforces the flaw while ignoring the mountains of evidence that contradict it. Remember, this isn't about the truth. It's about forming an effective cancel mob, and the truth is always more complex than what the mob requires to do their work. And I'm going to say this. I have been the target of smear campaigns like this. And actually, you can find another article on my Red Pill Diaries Substack in which just last week, I was the target of yet another cancel mob that was driven by Walkaways spokesperson Mike Harlow himself, Brandon Strock's best friend, in which they, again, for the second time in the past year, dragged a friend of mine through the mud in order to smear me. And so I understand on a deeply personal level what it means to be the target of this type of smear campaign. I understand it on a deeply, deeply personal level. And let me tell you this, when you are the target of one of these influencer led smear campaigns, what they do is they engage in massive amounts of confirmation bias, where they will only show you information that backs up what they want to say, and they will hide and deny and deflect information that does not support the story that they're trying to tell. And so I understand how this works. And I really feel like well, we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see. Now I already have people in my chat demanding that I denounced ELIZA, demanding, "Oh, she's a liar, she's a grifter," all this stuff. I literally already stop projecting. I'm going to tell you guys what. For those of you who are new to me, I am not going to be pressured into saying what you want me to say because you complain and whine in my chat. I won't do it. I have, to this moment, not seen any evidence that convinces me that Elijah BLEU is a horrible person. What I have seen is people manipulating things to make it seem like it is something that it is not. However, since I'm more open-minded than the people in my chat who are demanding that I join their cancel mob right now, I will watch the evidence that is being presented, at least in this video, and I will decide for myself what I think. But I will tell you that what my answer is probably, if you are looking for someone to join your fucking outrage mob, and I'm not talking to anyone in the chat that's not already demanding that I say what they want me to say. If you're not demanding or you're not denouncing or you're not doing any of these things, I'm not talking to you. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm feeling sick. I'm under the weather. What that means is that I'm probably going to be a lot more blunt than I usually am. If you are here looking for someone to join your outrage mob because all you are is addicted to outrage and out for blood from yet another person, because I have watched this happen on the political right over and over and over and over again. And as one of the people who was targeted by the political right, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to join your fucking cancel mob unless I think there is a very good reason to do so. And Margot, if you come in here with this shit, you're just going to get blocked. I am not interested in your outrage addiction. I am not interested. If that is all you're going to bring, I promise you, you're not going to survive very long in my chat. We have 2 rules in my chat. Number 1, don't be a dick. You, Margot, are violating the don't be a dick rule right now. Number 2, no whining. So Margot, when you chat in and you say, I'm not, me, I'm going to say, you're whining. I don't want to hear the whining. And I will watch this video and I will decide for myself what I think. But I will say that what I have seen from ELIZA, I don't expect Elijah BLEU to be a perfect person. Spoiler alert, guys. I do not expect Elijah BLEU to be a perfect person. I do not expect Elijah BLEU to have a completely unblemished past. I do not expect ELIZA. So I keep saying Elijah because I fucking have a cold. So I'm like, ELIZA. Sorry, ELIZA. I don't mean to be pronouncing you like Elijah Schaefer. It's my weird Vermont accent. I apologize. You guys know what I meant though. What I have seen from ELIZA, see, now I have to make a mental note to say the Z properly. What I have seen from ELIZA is someone who actually has done the legwork, actually has been working with organizations, actually has been helping people, actually has been trying to make a difference. And I never expect influencers to be perfect. And God knows, guys, like I've seen influencer after influencer. I actually don't even like consider ELIZA. I mean, I guess she kind of is, but I've always considered her to be more of an activist than I've considered her to be an influencer. And that's the difference between influencer and activist for me is that activists actually do shit in the real world that matters. And to be quite frank, what I have seen ELIZA do matters far more than the quartering having his fucking Twitter account. I'm going to say that because I'm already seeing this person who I don't recognize as ever having been in my chat before. The real big issue is her abusing her power and going against freedom of expression. Guess what, guys? Twitter's not the government. You do not have the right to post whatever the fuck you want to on Twitter. I know that that's not going to make me a lot of friends, and I say that as someone who was wrongfully permanently banned for like a month until I argued my way out of it. But you don't actually have the right to post whatever you want to on Twitter. If you want the right to post whatever it is that you want to say, go to Gab. Gab will let you do that. Gab will not censor you. Gab will not ban you. Gab will let you post whatever the fuck you want to say. If that's the type of environment you're looking for, go to Gab. But what I have seen from ELIZA is far more important than whether or not Brittany Venti's feelings are hurt. It's far more important than whether or not the quartering's feelings were hurt. She's actually helped real people in the real world. And so if she has a past or she's fudged some things, I have to weigh this differently than I do someone like Brittany Venti, who has, in my eyes, maybe I'm wrong, but absolutely zero redeeming value than being an OnlyFans model or whatever the fuck she does. I don't even know. And I'm sorry, the Quartering's a clickbait artist. He is. Now, the Quartering gets things right every now and again. I think the Quartering was absolutely right about Steven Crowder in regards to the little feud with the Daily Wire. And, oh, see, and this is what happens when you don't say, Kennedy's fake because she's not saying that Eliza Blue is a grifter, and now I'm going to whine and complain in her chat. Well, that's cool, Anthony, because you just broke rule number 1, which is you're going to get your ass blocked. Goodbye. See, I love blocking people in my chat when they break my fucking rules, especially when I'm not feeling well. So, guys, we are going to watch this video today, and I'm going to talk about it. And because I'm wearing this atrocious hat, you know it's a nitwits kind of day. It is a nitwits kind of day. And this is a long video. It's like 54 minutes. So I'm sure we're gonna have a lot to say about it. And I am going to have an open mind. If I become convinced through the actual evidence that what Elijah has done is worse than what I see Eliza contributing, then I'm gonna say it. But if I do not believe that Eliza's past or anyone's feelings about their favorite influencer having to delete a tweet in order to get their Twitter account back, ooh, we all know where Brittany Venti is going to end up, and we all know that the only redeeming value that Brittany Venti has is she has boobs. And we all know that that is the only reason people pay attention to her, because that girl, child, yes, she's a fucking child, has absolutely no redeeming value at all. No redeeming value at all. If you guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're expecting me to come down on the side of Brittany Venti, you're gonna be waiting a long fucking time. Brittany Venti is doing exactly what I would expect a brainless person with boobs to do for a living, and that's be a YouTube influencer. I mean, come on, man. You think I'm gonna take her side over someone who's actually done shit in the real world? Please. Please. I don't care. See, this is one of those things where conservatives are going to be like, oh my, what? She showed her tits on the internet? I don't care. I don't care about that. I mean, Britney is like, you know, the reason that I like don't care about this is because like bro, this is, and I'm not picking on you, Boom, because I know you're actually backing up my point. I phrase that horribly. You're backing up my point here, but it's like, man, she's doing exactly what she is equipped to do. The problem I have is when people look at someone like Brittany Venti and they fundamentally think that she has more redeeming value than someone who's actually doing shit in the real world, which I think Eliza's doing. Is she doing it perfectly? Nah. She's not doing it perfectly, but a lot of this stuff has no roadmap. And the thing of it is she's put something on the map that wasn't really talked about all that much before her. Yeah, Mark Robichaud, I thought the right was against dragging people down for their past actions. Oh no, the right is very much in favor of that. So guys, that's what we're gonna do today. Yeah, see, Brent knows. Brent always knows. So guys, today we are going to it and this is oh my word, someone had to delete a tweet? That is just untenable. Zach, so I'm gonna tell you right now, you're probably not gonna last long in my chat, buddy. Exactly. This is her only redeeming value. The same thing with Chrissy Mayer, by the way, because I've seen Chrissy Mayer going after Elijah BLEU as well. Do I think that Chrissy Mayer has more redeeming value than Elijah BLEU? No. No. Not at all. Not in any way. But I am open-minded, so we're going to watch this video and we're going to make an assessment. I also do just want to read this Twitter thread. The Quartering is being quite a vengeful little cuck, isn't he? Like, I'm sorry, the quartering is I hate this term, but I just can't think of a better one. The quartering is so fucking butthurt about having to delete a tweet to get his Twitter account back that he is now starting on a massive revenge and smear campaign. And anytime someone is posting entire Twitter threads smearing another person, I fundamentally make the assumption that that person is engaging in confirmation bias and is only going to say the things that back up what they want you to know and ignores the things that go against the story that they're trying to craft. But I'm going to read this butthurt Twitter thread from the Quartering about Elijah because again, I'm keeping an open mind here and we're going to see what's what. But guys, I want to let you know that I have actually been engaged in serious work today because my Substack is where I actually do the serious work, where I'm posting content pretty much every single day of the week talking about fighting back from the woke left. Fish Addict says, I never get notifications from Carlin's YouTube anymore. Well, you can usually find me live at 5 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Sorry, still sick. And then on Saturdays, we usually go live at 6 p.m. I did not go live this past Saturday because I was at the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire State Convention. I was sick all day. It was a long day, but I made it through and I had to be there. But if you don't get notifications on my channel, just set a little reminder, man. 5 p.m. I'm probably live, except for Sundays. And on Saturdays, we go live at 6. Let's see. I got a super chat coming in from Mark Robichaud. And Mark, it's good to see you back. Imagine being salty because you caved and deleted a tweet to get your account back. So much for standing your ground and not backing down. I mean, listen, man, the amount of complaining that the Quartering did about deleting a tweet. Do you know how many tweets I've had to delete that were wrongfully reported? Like dozens and dozens and dozens. I'm sorry, Yasmin. I had something to do this past weekend, but I promise you I have no life most weekends. And so next Saturday, I am completely yours. Socialism Saturday will be back. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I mean, it's just like the amount of complaining. Just delete the fucking tweet. This is not the end of the world. Just delete the tweet. I promise you, you are going to survive. You are not a martyr. Just delete the tweet. I don't understand. Maybe I like to oversimplify things. But guys, I do want to direct your attention to my more serious work over on my Substack. And this is actually a really important article, and maybe we will read this article tomorrow on the stream. I did post it today about this opinion piece that was all over CNN and all over Twitter, quite frankly. The police officers who killed Tyree Nichols were black, but they still have been driven by racism. A lot of people are confused about how, in God's name, 5 black police officers murdering a black man, and that video, the video that was released, if you haven't seen it, absolutely like horrendous. It was horrendous what they did to him. But a lot of people are confused about why this would be considered racist or why this would be considered white supremacy. It's actually really easy to explain. When the left says white supremacy, racism, whiteness, what they really mean is the system that upholds white supremacy, which in our case happens to be capitalism. Every single time the woke left says racism, systemic racism, whiteness, white supremacy, any derivation of the thing, they're not talking about your skin color. They're talking about What they're talking about capitalism. They're talking about the system, okay? And I have broken it all down in this article on my Substack that got posted today. Let me just pop a link into the chat. I really encourage everyone to read it. This is a really, 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 really important concept that everyone needs to understand. And to be quite frank, so I responded to a tweet that Jesse Kelly sent on the topic. Where is it? Jesse Kelly says right here, don't convince yourself there will be an end to everything is racist crap in this country. It won't end. Too many careers are at stake, and too many people have been raised to see everything through that lens. And I responded, white supremacy isn't about race, it's about capitalism. That's why there is no end to it. Whiteness means capitalism. And I'm going to be honest, I was bombarded with dozens and dozens and dozens of replies from the conservative right, calling me stupid, calling me a leftist, calling me any number of things because I'm trying to explain this. People really don't understand it, and they really, really need to. So please help me spread the word on this one. This is important because if people do not understand this, they don't understand the language game that the left is playing. And I lay it all out in this article. And this is stuff that we watch every single week on Socialism Saturday. It has to do with the redefinition of the term racism. They've literally taught this in schools. They taught it in schools in 2020 after George Floyd died. They're probably still teaching it in schools now, if we're honest about it. But I will lay it all out for you. I will explain it. But please help me spread the word on this one. If the right does not start understanding this concept, they are doomed to lose to the left forever because they're going to be fighting exactly the wrong thing. I explain that on my Substack, which is Carlyn, Karlyn, .substack.com. There's my little ticker banner. So you can find it there. And that article will help you out. I also posted, and this is going to become important in a second. Hang on. My Unwoke Roundup newsletter, 1 day late. I apologize for people who are looking forward to it. My Unwoke Roundup newsletter is just a newsletter kind of putting all the stuff that I've done in the last week in one place so people can find it. And I usually post it on Saturdays. I was at the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire convention on Saturday, so I posted it last night instead. But it does have a combination, like the culmination of all the stuff I did last week, which there wasn't as much because, again, I was sick. But there was an article in the New Woke Mind series where I talk about what systemic racism is, how they define it as, why they don't see you as human. We talked about our spy stream, but I really want to bring people's attention to the supporter perks section of the Unwoke Roundup newsletter because I am trying to get 30 more paid supporters on my Substack this month. I only have a day and a half left, guys. So really, if you're thinking about supporting me on my Substack, my goal is to get 30 more paid supporters by the end of the month. Otherwise, I'm going to be putting up a paywall. And one of the things you do get access to as a paid supporter is you get access to my community Zoom calls and my supporter Discord and things like that. And if you are a paid supporter in my Substack, if you go to the Unwoke Roundup article for the week, what you're going to do when you scroll down to the bottom under here is you're going to find access to the community Zooms that I do on Monday and Wednesday. You're also going to find access to the supporter Discord. That's all going to be behind the paywall because it's only for supporters. But I do have a community Zoom call coming up at 7 p.m. tonight. If you want to join me for a private, unrecorded chat with members of my community, you can find the information in the article for this week. And for my paid supporters on Substack, you're going to find that every week. You will also get access to those if you are a supporter in my locals community, if you're a supporter on my Patreon. But I do want to make those calls available to my Substack supporters as well because I really do appreciate it. Substack is going to be my home base for content moving forward. And if you're a paid supporter on another platform and I do institute a paywall, you're still going to get access to it. Don't worry about that. I'm going to make sure everyone has access to everything. You don't have to support me on multiple platforms, but I am trying to get 30 more paid supporters on my Substack by the end of the month. And if I don't get it, you guys are going to have to keep hearing me beg, and I'm going to put up a paywall, which I don't really want to do. But that's just the way the world works, guys. So I hope you'll head over there, read the Whiteness Means Capitalism article that I posted this morning. I've got a whole bunch of, I have so many articles I need to cover on my Substack. I've got like probably a list of about a dozen topics right now that I need to get through. And it's just, hours in the day, guys. But your support helps me have hours in the day, which I do really appreciate. Trendolin. I just put my name in the hat to run for at large for California Libertarian Party. Here we go on my political journey. Yay! That's amazing, Trendolyn. I wish you the very best of luck. I know there are a whole bunch of great people out in California, and I'm sure you're going to do a great job. If I can help you in any way, please let me know. And I think that's really, really exciting. Good for you. You learn a lot running for something. Let me tell you that. All right, guys, let's dig in. And the very first thing I want to take a look at is the Quartering's Twitter thread about ELIZA. And this is going to be quick because I want to if the link doesn't work, just go to carlin.substack.com. The link is in the description below. You'll be able to find it there. Because again, guys, I am going to keep an open mind about this. I'm going to see what people have to say, and then I will either accept it or reject it, and that's the way it goes. So the Quartering, in his little whiny, I had to delete my tweet to get my Twitter account back. To celebrate my return, I would like to announce the first installment of the ELIZA BLEU files, a multi-part series. See, he's just being a vengeful little bitch. I'm sorry. I don't care what ELIZA has done. He is being a vengeful little bitch. Oh, did I miss your super chat, Naruto? I apologize. Oh, sorry. Naruto says, aren't those panels I DM'd on Twitter amazing? You did. I really do appreciate you DMing me those. I'm going to take a look at them and maybe watch one of them on the stream this week. So yeah, Naruto's been spying around. What is it? The United, some like the Unitarian Church, I think. So some woke Unitarian stuff. So I do appreciate that, Naruto, and I will be looking into it. Many of you are aware that dozens of YouTube creators, investigative reporters, and critics in general, I don't know that any of them are really investigative reporters, but okay, have either been banned or locked out of their account over the past 10 days. Okay, how is he defining ban exactly? Because ban to me actually means like a permanent ban. It doesn't mean a delete the fucking tweet and you get your account back ban. So he and I might have different definitions of the term ban. And I feel like I can say that because I actually was wrongfully permanently banned for sharing government email addresses, which are public information and therefore not against Twitter's terms of service. So I actually feel like I can say that because I have been through this shit and it does suck. Yeah, exactly. So they were not banned. Guys, you are not banned if you are locked out of your account and they say delete the tweet to get your account back. That's not a ban. I'm sorry. That is a very, very, very easily solved problem. You just click the delete key, the tweet goes away, everyone's happy again, and you get your account back. ELIZA BLEU is only the most recent of nearly a half dozen alias names this woman has used in the past few years. And this is where I start to go, this is just clickbait drama. These are obviously stage names. They're just personas. They're internet personas. They're allowed to have internet personas. Like everyone is, I wish I had done this. I didn't do this because I accidentally went viral on the internet when I wasn't expecting to, and everything was under my real name. But like, I wish I had done something like this. This is where I start to go, now you're just being a cuck, dude, because like there's no nefarious intent. This was a woman who grew up on the internet, who used a lot of different names on the internet. Many of you have accounts where you're using anonymous names or you're using variations of names. I know that because I know you guys. Like, there's nothing wrong about this. I'm sorry. ELIZA BLEU has chased fame her entire life. From dating the lead singer of My Chemical Romance to TV appearances on the Steve Harvey Show and dating show Blind Date. She also appeared in no less than 4 rap videos as Video Vixen. Her words. Here's where things get spicy. Well, guess what, guys? The Quartering has been chasing fame on YouTube for years and years and years and years and years as well. And you know what? Nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to say there's anything wrong with it. There are a lot of people on the internet who just want to be famous. If ELIZA BLEU just wanted to be famous, then she's allowed to want to be famous. And guess what? There are times in people's lives when they're allowed to be little fame whores on the internet, and then maybe someday they grow up and they find out that fame isn't all it's cut out to be. and then they focus on things that actually matter. So potentially, and I'm just throwing this out there as a possibility, there could have been a time in Eliza Blue's life when she was running around being a little band groupie, and it does sound like that's what she was being. And guess what? A lot of listen, man, I almost got married to a musician. Okay? I understand that when you're in your 20s, being a groupie for musicians is like something that girls do, something that women do when they're younger, cuz it's fun. And it's hot dating a musician. It just is. It is fun to be dating someone in the band, okay? And so it's like if someone does that when they're in their 20s, even when they're in their 30s, who am I to judge? Who cares? If someone wants to be famous, someone wants to be a groupie, but that's not to say that they can't grow up and find other things to do. It's not to say they can't grow up and say, "You know what? Helping victims of trafficking is actually more important than fucking the lead singer of the band." God. I have a chipmunk voice. Oh no, it's because I'm sick. You guys gotta excuse me. Yeah, exactly, Sin. When you get into your 60s, like I would imagine that being a groupie is a little, frowned upon. But people can have listen, the average person goes through major life changes like once every 5 to 8 years. If you are the same person today that you were 5 years ago, you're due for a major life change of some sort. And I don't know that you know this until you get older. There really are stages to life where, like, you're going to be a very different person in your 20s than you are in your 30s, than you are in your 40s. It's just the way it goes. There's nothing wrong with that. Just under 2 weeks ago, one particular video resurfaced on the internet. One of at least four known rap videos that starred ELIZA BLEU, a video that had been on YouTube for over 6 years. Nothing about that video was remarkable. The only thing of note was ELIZA BLEU's response. ELIZA BLEU immediately leveraged her deep connections at Twitter to begin locking out anyone who posted the publicly available video, claiming it was non consensual. Twitter head of trust and safety publicly blacked her numerous times. The only problem is she lied. Well, guess what, guys? People can lie about things. And people can also record interviews when they're younger and say things that maybe they wouldn't have said in retrospect or in hindsight. So I'm going to be honest, I don't know what the deal with this video was, and I don't really care. I did see the video before it got taken down. It was ELIZA BLEU shaking her ass and showing her tits and, acting like a hot girl in a music video. I didn't think there's anything wrong with it, but I can absolutely envision a reality in which she was pressured to do that. And then, wanted to put a good face on it. I've seen things like that happen before. We don't know what happened. We don't know. And so maybe she was embarrassed about it. Maybe she just didn't want it on the internet. I can understand that too. Am I going to be shedding tears over, you know what? I'm sorry. Obviously, Brittany Venti was trying to start shit. It's really that simple. I have no sympathy for Brittany Venti. She was obviously trying to start shit. Now, should she have gotten locked out of her Twitter account? Probably not. But is it the end of the fucking world? Am I going to discard someone who's doing legitimate work in the world because Brittany Venti is having feelings? No, I'm not. Sorry, I don't really care. She was excited about the video, but she begged World Star Hip Hop to produce the video. She was paid. She pitched the video directly to World Star Hip Hop. She was blessed and almost pissed herself to be around all the fancy equipment. Proof below. Well, again, guys, people can say things for public consumption that are not necessarily reflective of the truth. I don't know what the truth is, but I'm not going to trust people who obviously have an agenda, who are who might have nefarious reasons for trying to cancel someone on the internet for no good reason. I could go all day with ELIZA BLEU proving she lied about the video being non-consensual and Elon Musk and Ella G. Irwin being duped by her, but how about just a few more? So you're going to tell me that you think Elon Musk is stupid and doesn't know how the world works? You're going to tell me that the quartering knows more about the world than Elon Musk? That doesn't ring true to me. Elon Musk knows what's going on. Elon Musk isn't a newbie anymore. He got thrown into the deep end probably about a year ago, right? If not, but I mean, he's been in the deep end for a while, but like really with the Twitter stuff, like when he was going to buy the company, when he first started talking about buying the company. So I don't think that I'm sorry. I don't think that the quartering is more trustworthy. I just don't. More examples. Okay. We're not going to watch all these. So I'm going to watch the video. The company comes out and says she was paid for the video. She may have been paid for the video. That doesn't mean she wasn't pressured into doing the video. Starred in several music videos. Here's where things get especially insidious is when Elijah BLEU and the VP of Twitter Trust and Safety seem to be working together in real time. Let's see. So Twitter Safety released what I thought was, a fairly benign statement, if I'm honest. But the quartering's trying to treat this as though it's like a smoking gun. Even more concerning, it seems that Elijah BLEU is working directly with the VP of Trust and Safety to rewrite the rules of Twitter to cover her tracks. I think that that's a little bit of a stretch, given what was actually said. This is such an important point. I dedicated its own tweet to it. ELIZA BLEU does not work at Twitter, and yet she seems to be dictating the policy to serve her own agenda. I don't think that he has evidence that ELIZA BLEU is doing that. I'm not convinced of it yet. Mark Robichaud says, how many stories have we heard about people chasing fame to find out that fame costs a quickie here and there for sleazy producers and it's normal? That's exactly right, man. The casting couch is a real thing. Absolutely. Every single day. It's baffling to me why Twitter would incinerate their entire mission of transparency and trust and its users to protect one random woman from a nothing burger video from 6 years ago. It's even more confusing why Elijah BLEU would destroy her credibility again a public video over a public video she begged to be in 6 years ago, yet ignore the other 4 to 5 out there. Many people are speculating it may blow up her timeline of being trafficked. Well, that does actually sound like speculation. And you don't know what happened behind the scenes. You don't know what happened. We don't know. I don't know either way. And I'm going to be blunt, regardless of whether she was or she wasn't, because I have seen her frame this in some pretty suspect ways. But regardless of whether she was or wasn't, Elijah's public work on this speaks for itself. Her public work speaks for itself. I don't need proof that she was sexually trafficked. Okay, I don't like that if it turns out to be the case that she lied about that, I don't think that's good. I don't think it's acceptable, but does that completely obliterate the good work she's done? I would argue that it doesn't, to be honest. Why are you canceling someone that's actually trying to help people? What value does this serve? Maybe it had something to do with her stating in her own words this was filmed years after she was saved. You can see the video published there. I think at the very least, I have proven to Elon Musk that Elijah BLEU is abusing her connections. I would argue that he has not proved that at all. He's taken things out of context. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. And again, we're going to watch another video about this that has a lot more context. We're going to start in a second. But all of these things, I want people to be really aware of this because I do think that people need to be aware of how smear campaigns work. ELIZA BLEU was working directly with organizations to help victims escape. She was working directly with them. She was finding people safe places to go. She was explaining what it was like. She was reaching out to people directly. She was advocating for this shit to get on Twitter when Twitter was but a twinkle in Elon Musk's eye. She knew where all this stuff was. Don't tell me she hasn't done anything. But all of this stuff, every single one of these clips, and I know this because I've had clip videos made of me, every single one of these clips is pulled out of context to support exactly what the quartering wants you to see. And you are going to be presented with zero evidence that contradicts what the quartering wants you to see. You'll notice he ain't talking about all the good work ELIZA has done. He's not talking about that. He's not talking about the hundreds, thousands probably of things she's posted that are directly related to fighting human trafficking and abuse. He's not going to talk about the organizations she's worked with. He's not going to talk about the people that she's helped. He's not going to talk about any of those things because none of that backs up his story that this was all a grift. Those things happened and they were public. And so even if ELIZA lied about a video, or even if ELIZA lied about being trafficked, which I really hope she didn't do because that would be a really shitty thing to do. But even if she did, that does not take away the good and the impact that she's been able to have in the world to help people. And I really do hope people remember that because it's pretty obvious to me that the quartering is on a smear campaign and I don't think there's any value to it. I just don't. I just don't. All right. And I don't care if she lied about being in rap videos, guys. Guess what? I don't care. Because sometimes, see, Margot, you are providing absolutely zero redeeming value in my chat right now. You're just bitching and complaining and breaking my chat rules. So what I'm going to do, Margot, is I'm going to time you out. And if you keep breaking my chat rules, I'm just going to ban you and you can into the ether for all I care. All right, guys, what I want to do now is I want to watch this video and I need to get it set up real quick. And again, mount that like button if you are pleased that I'm back doing this while I'm not feeling great. I do apologize if my voice sounds funny. This is part of why I haven't been streaming or doing podcasting or recording my school's exposed program. It's so frustrating when the thing that's holding you back is literally not being able to speak and you have so much stuff that you need to do speaking things for and you just can't do it because your voice doesn't hold up. But I appreciate your guys' patience. All right, so I do want to watch this video. This is titled, Was ELIZA BLEU Helping to Procure Underage Children? This to me is really outlandish. I'm going to want to see some evidence. And I don't want to see things cut out of context. And I don't want to see things twisted to mean things that they don't mean. And I'm going to call it out when it happens. But I'm going to keep an open mind and we're going to watch this together. And I'm going to do some knitting. I'm still knitting my Starflake shawl. All right, guys, let's get this party started. I should use an AI program. Oh, I really... Do you... What... Name me an AI program that I could do that, Mark. I would actually love that. That would be amazing. All right, let's get this party... Oh, hang on. I got a super chat coming in. I want to make sure I get that. Kino Review says, could be worse. You could be sounding like Joan Rivers. Get well soon. Thank you. I do feel better than last week. I'm just really pissed off that I can't talk all that well. All right, guys, let's get this show started.
Once again, ELIZA BLEU, a woman who has positioned herself as an anti-trafficking advocate or expert. You can see her photographed here on the left with the short white hair, wearing the Stop Traffic shirt. We have Jeffree Star, her friend, in the middle, and accused PEDO.
I love this
fish addict.
I agree.
Maxwell on the right there, and I will explain why. What I find interesting about this entire saga is, if you looked at my prior videos, I kept there was something about her that just kind of reminded me of the Epstein saga, especially like her connection with Elon Musk.
Why is Jeffree Star even being included in this? Like, has Jeffree Star done something that I don't know about? I mean, obviously, I think Ghislaine Maxwell is a pretty obvious, but this to me already reeks of propaganda, if I'm honest about it, because it's like, you're going to start off associating ELIZA BLEU with people that she's probably... No, I think she has actually met Jeffree Star, but because I'm pretty sure I saw a video of her with Jeffree Star or someone that looked a lot like Jeffree Star, I'll tell you that. But it's like, you're already going to just try to do this guilt by association thing. That doesn't sit well with me. I have no idea. I don't follow Jeffree Star's career. I just know that Jeffree Star looks fabulous, and that's really all that I know about him. So I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
What we've learned about his brother Kimball Musk and Elon's relationship with Jeffree himself. So, before you watch this video, I encourage you to go watch my prior videos on her. Watch them in order, and it will make a lot more sense to you as we get into this video. In this video, we'll focus on asking the question. Now, I don't know for sure, so I just want to put that out there. Asking the question, though, was ELIZA working as a pimp in the past? Very simple.
It strikes me as being incredibly irresponsible to make a video with that title to say, I don't know for sure, but was she working as a pimp? I mean, I don't know, but was she? No, really, was she? It just doesn't this does not scream to me of someone who is acting in good faith.
Similar to what Galen Maxwell was doing, basically acting as a beard and a procurer of underage minors. So we're going to look at that. We're going to ask these questions. So I will put a trigger warning at the beginning of the video that this is what we're going to be looking at and talking about. So it's going to be a longer video. So I encourage you to just kind of settle in. You can kind of listen to the audio if you're busy or working or something, if that's easier. I will try to explain everything that I'm bringing up on the screen since it's going to be so long of a video here. So, and I'll include all the links in the video description. So let's begin with Jeffree Star. There's reason to believe, I think we know that ELIZA and Jeffree used to be very, very good friends. So there's video of them together that's been making the rounds on the internet. I just wanted to bring up the expose on Jeffree Star from October of 2020 by Insider. Jeffree Star accusers say the makeup mogul has a history of SA, physical V, and hush money offers. Yeah, look at it. Is that surprising? Come on, guys.
Oh, come on.
Before building his YouTube.
Look at it. Is that surprising? One of the reasons I wanted to watch this is I really do want to teach you guys, like, if you don't know already, and I know many of you do, what smear campaigns look like. When someone is making a video saying, I just don't know, did they? But look at it. If you're referring to someone as it, that might be. See, Margot's now back still complaining. You're right, Margot. I don't care. Goodbye. You're now banned because you broke rule number 1 of my chat. Rules are don't be a dick, no whining, guys. Margot broke them like 3 times before we banned her. So like if you're referring to someone as it, you're obviously trying to smear them. Sorry, not sorry.
YouTube makeup empire, Jeffree Star was a politically incorrect MySpace celebrity. In addition to his racist outbursts, several people, including some of Star's former friends, peers, and associates, told Insider that he physically abused and then essayed others at the height of his MySpace fame. So this would be during the time that he was very good friends with ELIZA. Several people said Star preyed on men around him through non-consensual OS and groping at his music performances.
So where's the evidence?
Accusers also said Star used weapons such as a stun gun, a tasing device on the people around him for fun and for revenge after facing rejection. Star's attorney denied the allegations, calling them false and defamatory. Messages obtained by Insider showed 2 of Insider's on-the-record sources discussing a $10,000 payout offer from Star to recant their allegations. Makeup mogul Jeffree Star is one of YouTube's biggest celebrities, vibrantly androgynous with cotton candy wigs and head-to-toe tattoos. He's leveraged his penchant for stirring internet drama into a multi-million-dollar cosmetics brand and amassed 40 million social media followers, many of them, of course, underage. They avidly consume his makeup product reviews and tours of his 14.6 million Hidden Hills, California mansion, and have helped launch his status as one of YouTube's top 5 earners with an estimated $17 million in revenue from the platform in just 2019. So that's 1 year alone.
Good for him.
According to Forbes. But Starr, now 34, built his beauty empire out of the success of an earlier career as an electro-pop musician during the internet's MySpace era in the late 2000s.
I do
He
actually
was
remember
known back
this.
then as a scene fixture whose merchandise appeared in Hot Topic stores and who performed at the Warped Tour concert series. The online persona Starr cultivated during that phase of his career. And
I was very into AFI at this time in my life. I still do like AFI, by the way. And so I do remember this because Davey Havoc fucking loved Jeffree Star and they were always like hanging out. And so I'm dating myself and I realized that, but I do remember this very vividly.
in the early 20s was shocking and graphic at times, with public videos of groping episodes and racist outbursts. An insider
Of which they
investigation
provided no
suggests it
evidence.
wasn't all an act. Several former associates say Starr engaged in V&A behavior on multiple occasions during the late 2000s,
Then why didn't
including
they
multiple
sue
allegations of
him?
SA.
Then why didn't they sue him?
So we'll move on. You can read this
No
on your
evidence
own, but
provided.
that's just putting that out there. Now we have this video. This video is called Jeffree Star being a PEDO for 1 minute straight. And we will just play that. So these are tweets of his. I've had so many straight boys naked that I think I deserve a Lifetime Achievement Award.
That's
He
not a
said that in
pedo.
July of 2010.
That has nothing to do with
So
being a
that's nice.
pedo at
That's his,
all.
by the way, verified Twitter account.
So Mike Harlow from the Walkaway movement loves fucking straight men. Loves it. Loves it. Talks about it all the time. Literally heard about it every time I was with him. And you know what? Obviously, I am not the biggest fan of Mike Harlow or the Walkaway movement because he has smeared me and my friends on the internet for God knows what and for how long. But I will say that, you know, there are gay men out there that like sleeping with straight men. And I actually don't think there's anything wrong with that. And obviously, those men that they're sleeping with really aren't that straight if they're fucking a gay guy or if they're fucking any guy. I guess they could be fucking a straight guy too, still not be straight. So this to me has this bears no resemblance to anything that I care about so far.
So he's using the word boys, not men, boys. Here
Are
we
you
have
serious?
another one of him sexualizing Justin Bieber, who at the time was a minor. Very disturbing material here. This is him again being inappropriate with people. Yeah. And so you can see him, inappropriately grabbing an individual.
Conservatives, if you wonder why people don't take you seriously, this shit is why people don't take you seriously. I have yet to see anything that I consider wrong.
Yeah. So there's that. Moving on, we also have his buddy here, James Charles, another inappropriate individual. This is from the Cut Influencers section from May of 2021, a guide to the many, many scandals of James Charles. On April 1st, 21-year-old beauty influencer and controversy magnate James Charles released an apology video in response to allegations that he exchanged inappropriate messages with minors. In the video titled Holding Myself Accountable, where he doesn't hold himself accountable, Charles shifts away from his former tactic of denying any wrongdoing and instead says after spending time researching these topics and self-reflecting, he realized that he and only he was to blame for the interactions. He admits to having engaged in a flirty conversation with two
this is the
minors,
question that I currently
once
have,
last
Dragon
year
Tits.
and once more recently, though he stands
what
by
does this
his
have to do with
claims that in
anything?
both situations he was told the other person was of age and believed them. I fully understand my actions and how they were wrong, he concludes. So yeah.
That did look a little bit like ELIZA, didn't it?
It's worth noting that the video only came after Charles was replaced as the host of the YouTube TV show he co-created, Instant Influencer, and after he spent the entire month of March posting normally with no acknowledgement of the accusations rapidly proliferating on TikTok and Twitter. Now brands are starting to sever ties with him. Oh, by the way, Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube, was seen hanging out with him, bragging about being his friend on YouTube videos. You can look it up. Just look up James Charles and Susan Wojcicki. So there are
Oh,
tons.
Ethan
This
Klein,
article
the
documents
bastion
tons
of
of
credibility. Ethan Klein.
a
Yeah, okay.
completely inappropriate behavior, PEDO behavior
So point
from
out
this
something.
individual who was friends with Jeffree Star. Now we've got another article here. Leaked
All
court
right.
documents reportedly show Jeffree Star.
All right. So I'm going to start fast forwarding and looking for things that are actually about ELIZA, because right now, this person's argument seems to be ELIZA was friends with Jeffree Star, who talked about naked men, and I don't like that because I'm a conservative. No offense, conservatives, but I'm summarizing the argument in this video. Like, I don't like that they're talking about men because I'm a conservative, and that's not allowed. And then this person who's talking about men is also friends with someone else who liked men, and that's just, and that must mean that they're all pedos. Like, are you fucking shitting me? Like, come on, be better. Let me just fast forward because I don't care about any of this. How does this relate back to ELIZA at all? Okay, now we're getting into Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, another thing I don't care about because it's not related to ELIZA. How is this related to ELIZA BLEU? How? That's Ghislaine. We're getting 20 minutes into this. Okay, here we go. Okay. This is actually talked about ELIZA. Hang on. All right, we finally 22 minutes into this video before they actually start talking about ELIZA BLEU. That tells you this is a smear campaign. This is just for clicks, guys. This is a smear campaign. Unless there is incontrovertible evidence that shows up in this video, I just don't even know what to say. But let's maybe there will be.
It's all a big club, and you're not in it. There you go. So continuing on and how this ties into ELIZA.
Oh,
I
finally.
believe that, kind of like Gillian, she was involved in the same sorts of behaviors. I think that she was potentially, this is, I don't know for sure, it's just um, an opinion of mine, based on
I don't know
patterns
for
of
sure.
activity and my ability to spot and recognize patterns and notice things. So I think that she might have been involved in similar activity of being a procurer, just like Gillian was. And the reason that women are used for this is because they often appear harmless, right? To a child or an underage person, if they're not getting invited to go to a man's house by the man. Like, that would be suspicious or scary. It was Gillian that was going out and trawling, looking for young girls and then offering them money to come and give him a massage or whatever. It was always, they use the women because that is disarming to young people. Okay, so just to reconfirm, ELIZA Cuts is also ELIZA Ann Seep per her own public Facebook page. Well, she's had many different names, many aliases. Not sure what D's are in that bag.
And
Maybe they're
and
vitamins. Who knows?
and
Photo appears to
are
be from the
you kidding
20.
me? Are you kidding me? She just accused her basically of dealing drugs, by the way. So you're gonna tell me that ELIZA was totally trying to hide who she was, and she was trying so hard that she literally put ELIZA Cuts, which was obviously a reference to cutting hair, which, by the way, ELIZA did. I know this much about her. She did cut hair back at that time when she was using ELIZA Cuts. It was a stage name for cutting hair, and you're trying to tell me that she was just totally trying to cover up this information, and she didn't want anyone to know they were the same person, and that's why she put it in the same fucking profile? And then you're posting a photo of her with God knows what in a bag, and you're trying to insinuate she's dealing drugs or something? Wow.
2010 to 12 era. Jeffree Star makes an appearance as well. So this is from her Facebook page. And there you can see her here. She's got Star in her profile picture.
Oh
The
my
two of
god,
them
she knew Jeffree
together.
Star. Oh my
And
word.
really, she's the daughter of a politician, a Republican
Well, that
politician.
just, you
And
know,
now we get into some of
says
the other
everything, doesn't
stuff.
it?
Now, I just want to preface this with saying I am
And
not a
there's
fan
Chrissy
of
Mayer.
Manuel DeFango. This is
And there's fucking Chrissy Mayer popping up because Chrissy Mayer has been doing this shit on her show. I saw one clip of a Chrissy Mayer show where someone who alleged to have dated ELIZA called and it was like, "Oh yeah, she did all this stuff." It's like, how do you know this person is even for real? Well, exactly. You can't take this seriously. Guys, pro tip. If someone is doing what is obviously a hit piece video and you get halfway through the video and they have yet to give one piece of verifiable, hard and fast, just no bones about it evidence, then they're doing a fucking smear piece. Well, yeah, exactly. Chrissy Mayer's involved because ELIZA BLEU went after Brittany Venti. Oh my god, Brittany Venti must be protected at all costs.
an individual who has personally defamed me. But that doesn't mean a broken clock can't be right, twice a day. And also, if he's just compiling information that we can all verify and vet ourselves, I don't have a problem with that. But I am not a fan of him, just look into shadow box and a lot of the things that he was doing. Questionable individual for sure. Absolutely working for several or more than one intelligence agency, in my opinion.
You stood out and said, I'm a survivor of human trafficking before it was a pop culture topic. So I appreciate you laying that groundwork for me and all the folks that worked in the movement to lay that groundwork so to be there when survivors like myself reach out.
I wanted to say something first.
Okay, so she's calling herself in this interview a survivor slash thriver, which is, cheesy. But you'll listen
Oh,
to the
God
way
forbid
she talks
someone be
too.
cheesy.
There's something very creepy about her, okay?
That you said that I'm a survivor of human trafficking. I did say that, but not till later. What I first said was, I'm an ex-prostitute, and I had a pimp, and everyone's like, and it's your fault. Because, and
But we didn't have But Annie, we didn't have the language to put to it. We didn't have the language to put to it back.
We. What does that mean? So I think she's very similar to this lady. What it sounds like to me is that somebody was involved in very shady things and is trying to erase the past.
I'm sorry to hear that,
and
Patty.
now proclaim that they are a
My
survivor
love to you and your
an
family.
advocate when in fact they were probably a pimp.
Then
What?
This wasn't.
Wait, she just accused ELIZA of being a pimp? She literally just accused ELIZA of being a pimp. Because this person is saying that she used to say she was a prostitute, and ELIZA then says, we didn't have the language for it. And now all of a sudden the person making this video is accusing ELIZA of being a pimp. Let's just back that up real quick and listen again, because that was beyond.
Involved in very shady things and is trying to erase the past and now proclaim that they are a survivor and an advocate when in fact they were probably a pimp.
What the fuck?
This wasn't,
That's defamation.
This wasn't a conversation the way that it is now.
I'm an ex-prostitute.
We did not have the language to put to it then, and I feel like what you said was perfect at the time for what it was. And to be brutally honest, depending on the folks that I'm talking to, I will navigate and take pimp, trafficker.
Oh my god.
That's really weird, isn't it?
After I turned 18 and after things happen after that, I can honestly say I do play a role in what's going on around me.
And also, survival sex
Gee, I wonder.
is not considered human trafficking.
What's survival
There's still
sex?
even survival sex is that gray area between. Let's talk about something funner after this. This is not my most fun.
Hold on.
You know what I mean? Like, let's kick it up a notch. No, we can talk about survival sex. I don't care about that. Listen, this is like water off a duck's back. I'm just tired of it, man. It's been a long week. We had the election this week. Let's talk about anything else. No, I'm just saying. So survival sex would be if you need something like housing, drugs, medicine, food.
Wow.
You're selling sex to survive, but you don't necessarily have a pimp or a trafficker. Survival sex is not considered human trafficking.
And there were moments where I could have chosen to handle things differently and I didn't. So,
wow.
Although bad things happen to me, I am also capable of doing really horrible things.
Yeah.
I bet.
I think you said it just right. You stood out.
Okay. So moving on. This thread says new updates in the ELIZA BLEU saga will be filed.
So what this says to me is ELIZA has actually been self-reflective about her past and has probably acknowledged to herself that she didn't always make the best choices. Who cares? Do you think Matt Walsh likes attention? Do you think Ben Shapiro likes attention? Do you think Dave Rubin likes attention? Do you think Megyn Kelly likes attention? Do you think Tucker Carlson likes attention? Do you think Sean Hannity likes attention? I could go on and on and on. Do you think Candace Owens likes attention? Do you think Chrissy Mayer likes attention? Do you think like every single person who is a public person online to some extent likes attention, or they want attention, or they need attention? So, like, I don't care if ELIZA likes attention. I'm sure she does like the attention. But who cares? Do you think the quartering likes attention? Do you think the person making this video likes attention? Like I could go like so what? Like everyone, do you think people like attention on their birthday? Like do you think that people like attention when they're celebrating something? I mean, it's just like it's like that literally applies to pretty much every single person in the world.
Below, so many people are digging into this now. New GoFundMes have been found, old Twitter accounts, side of 17-year-old grooming action, and more. Very interesting how things shake out. Yesterday at Chrissy Mayer and Farron Balance did a video about a GoFundMe for travel expenses for Freedom Fest. Then an even more interesting video from Micah the Mason on ELIZA's.
That's interesting that Chrissy Mayer thinks that doing a GoFundMe to get someone to pay your travel expenses is grifting, because Mike Harlow at the top of his Twitter account right now as we speak has a GoFundMe for people to pay his moving expenses to move to Florida. So you're going to tell me that it's okay when Chrissy Mayer's friends do that? Chrissy Mayer is completely fine with her friend Mike Harlow being such a fucking loser that he has a GoFundMe at the top of his Twitter page begging people to pay his moving expenses, and that's acceptable. But ELIZA BLEU does a GoFundMe to get someone to pay her travel expenses for something, and that's unacceptable. This is the hypocrisy you run into with influencers all the time. If one's okay, then the other's okay. Stop butting your nose into how people spend their money. If people want to give money to ELIZA BLEU, who the fuck cares? If people want to waste their money to pay Mike Harlow's movie expenses, that is your money to waste, my friends. I do not care.
Getting money from them too. What? Okay, so first of all, I want to point out here, calling you out, Chrissy Mayer, you had this lady on your channel. I mean, ELIZA was a guest on Chrissy's show, and Chrissy defended her for a while before the whole thing with Brittany Venti and the quartering happened. Chrissy was simping for ELIZA. Okay, so she needs to be called out for that and should apologize for promoting
That's
that.
what I think is happening, to be honest. I think they're just like, it's just a cancel mob.
Oh no. Wow. So I guess Twitter is blocking it. Of course they are. Let's see if we can pull it up this way. Unbelievable. So apparently this is a whole video, a whole thread about the Jesus, a whole live stream. Well, we're not going to watch this entire thing because that would just be silly. Okay, here's the ELIZA BLEU GoFundMe. Yes,
I will say that though. That is fucking sus that Twitter is blocking that stuff. As much as I think that they're going way too far on this smear campaign, Twitter shouldn't be involving themselves in this shit. And that's as far as I'll go to on that end. Listen, I think that the quartering is being a little bitch about not deleting the tweet. I think Brittany Venti has no redeeming value whatsoever, but I don't think that Twitter should be involving themselves in this little personal feud. That to me is beyond.
Archive. Speaking at Freedom Fest, travel expenses organized by ELIZA BLEU.
Yeah, guess what?
I'm a survivor.
Guess what? Freedom Fest is fucking expensive. Freedom Fest is expensive, man. Like I thought about going to Freedom Fest and I was like, it's going to cost me several $1,000s to go and I don't actually really care that much. So no, I don't have any problem with ELIZA BLEU raising money for travel expenses to go speak at Freedom Fest.
Advocate for those affected by ST or HT, which is, okay. It is what it is. Like, if she could say she was doing this or going to this event to raise awareness for something, and you could say, okay, maybe that is helpful, but she's once again calling herself survivor. I'm also a survivor of HT. Okay, so continuing. It has been shown ELIZA BLEU said she was trafficked on Twitter with quote unquote fake accounts. We have found a bunch of accounts promoting her, even ones that got suspended. Why lie about this? Okay, so this is getting very interesting.
And you can
I was
always add me
asked to
on
watch it.
Facebook.com/ELIZA site, Twitter.com/ELIZA site.
Okay, so ELIZA knows that was one of her accounts, as far as I understand.
I was trafficked on Twitter as well. So there's been 3 profiles to my knowledge that my former abusers made to traffic me on Twitter.
You can't
I didn't realize because I kind of just signed up for Twitter in late 2019. So it was like one of the last few days of 2019. I signed up for Twitter.
And you can always add me on Facebook.com/ELIZA site.
So yeah, she was lying about that. Quote, kid was 17 and met her in person at a basketball game. She made quite the impression. Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? So, yeah.
So
tonight I want to dedicate this night to a lovely young lady named Ms. ELIZA Seep, whom I met at Whitney Young High. Okay, so that's bizarre. All the way back to 2010 with ELIZA BLEU, or is it ELIZA Seep? I can't keep it all together. Life Video Vixen. Wow. Wait, was that another one suspended? Night Shift. I don't know what this is. I guess that person found this. 2010.
Okay, so we are 30 minutes into the video, and I gotta say, this is actually, there is no reason for ELIZA to lie about her Twitter accounts. Obviously, ELIZA was on Twitter before 2019. Obviously, that's true. So that does seem to me to be something that she fudged, and I'm going to acknowledge that. But if a half hour into the video, the best evidence that you have is that ELIZA BLEU had Twitter accounts in her past that she went under different names, bro, come on. Seems like ELIZA is using past regrets and a lot of therapy speak to tie herself to advocacy if she was being honest to begin with and didn't get people banned but to work with them. I mean, again, I don't care if she got people locked out of their accounts. I really don't. A lot of people have gotten me locked out of my account for no good reason, and there's not fucking outrage about it. You want to know why there's not outrage? Because those people are friends with the quartering. And so the quartering thinks it's completely all fine, well, and good for his friends to do the same thing that he's shitting on ELIZA BLEU for doing. But if they do it to someone, it's totally fine because they're friends, and so it's okay. And here's the other thing I really want people to understand. None of these people are acting from a principled perspective. Chrissy Mayer's not being principled. The quartering's not being principled. Brittany Ventney's not being principled. The woman who made this video is not being principled. Not a single one of them care. And I know that from direct experience because, again, I have been locked out of my Twitter account probably at least a dozen times by people in a woke fucking cancel mob that the quartering and Brittany Venti and Chrissy Mayer are friends with. And so if you're coming to me with this type of quote unquote evidence, but it's my friends can totally do this and I'm not going to say anything. But if a person I don't like does this, I'm going to make it a whole big fucking thing on the internet and form a cancel mob against them. That to me is like, you're just grasping at straws, dude. You just want to form a cancel mob. Now, I don't like that ELIZA BLEU has fudged her past. I think it's better to be honest. That's why I don't lie. Like, it is 100% of the time just better to be honest because it will all... Being honest will not only always serve you in the long run, but it will just like nip a whole bunch of shit in the bud. And don't be apologetic. Guess what? You did stupid shit in your 20s. I did stupid shit in my 20s too. I almost married a musician in my 20s. Like, that would have been a goddamn nightmare. That would not have been good at all. But if you did stupid shit in your 20s, welcome to the club. We've got some jackets made. Just be honest about it and say, you know what? I fucked up. Wouldn't do that again. Learned a lot. Learn from my mistakes. Learn from my life experience. But if you expect people to be perfect when they're in their fucking 20s, you're going to be disappointed every single time.
She is replying to a now suspended account. This one was started in 2012, Life of a Video Vixen. Wow. Very interesting. And then the video where ELIZA explains her new persona from Chrissy Mayer. Remember, folks, I started using her words, and we are just still using her own words. Also, please vote on this joke poll I made. No, that's silly. Tree of Logic did a good video covering everything so far. Highly recommend you take a look.
Tree of Logic is one of the biggest grifters that I have seen on the internet. If you guys buy into anything that retarded woman says, and yeah, I said it, she's fucking retarded. Like, if you buy, like, the quartering is smart. I have to give the quartering credit where credit is due. The quartering is smart, and the quartering understands how to run a business, and the quartering's building something. You know what? I'll give props to people I don't like when they're actually doing something productive. He's building something. Tree of Logic is a fucking retard. If you trust Tree of Logic, I question all of your other life choices. That woman is a retard. She is a retard. I don't know how else to say it. I'm sick. I'm allowed not to be nice right now. She is fucking retarded.
If you want to get a clean, down to the point timeline of events so far, how it all started, the ELIZA BLEU scandal. So that's interesting. Look, Twitter's blocking these links. That's insane. They did it to my videos also. Timcast finally broke his silence on the ELIZA BLEU situation after Hotep Ninja name dropped her on his appearance on the show. It was something. Temple acknowledges ELIZA BLEU grifter accusations, but will he cover the story featuring the quartering? Interesting. Hashtag stolen valor, hashtag stolen survivor. So it says, it seems NCOSC law, who filed complaints to Twitter to take down the quartering of Brittany Venti. Maybe someone should file a grievance against them with the Bar Association. They can't possibly have done this in good faith.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Very interesting. NCOSE law. Even Andy Ngo is getting in on the action. The quartering has been locked out of Twitter after tweeting a screenshot of an activist from an old music video. The reason given by Twitter safety is private/intimate media. I saw the still and it looks like fair use. This appears to be a wrongful application of TOS. He tags Ella Irwin, but she is friends with ELIZA, as you would note if you saw my old video on ELIZA. Here is another thread talking about ELIZA taking down world star hip hop videos from YouTube and more. Yeah, very interesting. This is the thread with all of the chat star ELIZA receipts that shows she was on Twitter way before she claims selling something to people. Did you know ELIZA was a cam girl on a website called Chatstar? Maybe the Andrew Tate thing was a little close to home. Very, very interesting indeed. And the thing with ELIZA and why I find it really weird and why it reminds me of Ghislaine and the whole Epstein saga. The thing with her is that she's, you know, she's related to a politician. Like her father's a politician, just like Ghislaine's father, Robert Maxwell, was an Israeli super spy, among other prominent things, right? Basically somebody with connections and a network. So ELIZA, it gets somehow, she's around these people, right? She's around Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy. She's around My Chemical Romance. She's somehow getting backstage.
What?
She's around Jeffree Star. She's around all, you know, all these people. She gets on the show Blind Date. Then she's on American Idol and she's like, oh, now she's a singer. Then she's a makeup artist. Then she's a model. Then she's something else. You know, it's like, who is this person really? And why is she?
You're going to take one look at ELIZA BLEU and tell me that it's out of this universe that she would do hair and makeup? ELIZA BLEU screams hair and makeup artist. Are you kidding me? So you're saying that the crimes that she's committed is that when she was in her 20s and she was young and hot and had really big tits and looked and knew how to do cool hair and makeup, that she was a band groupie? Ooh. Like, are you, like, is anyone shocked by this? Is anyone shocked that a hot girl in their 20s was a band groupie? Is this new information to anyone? Obviously, ELIZA BLEU knows how to do makeup. Obviously, ELIZA BLEU knows how to do hair. Who fucking cares? So she got to date famous musicians. Who cares? She got backstage at shows. She was friends with Jeffree Star. Who cares? Yes, exactly. Jeffree Star was a makeup YouTuber. You guys, you conservatives, you really cracked the fucking case on. I shouldn't even say conservatives. This isn't even the fault of conservatives. This is the fault of grifter influencers who are looking for something to complain about, and they can't stand it when people are getting attention and that they are not. Yeah, her dad was a politician. I don't care. Have I seen any evidence that she was connected with Jeffrey Epstein at all? No. How dare people have more than one interest in life? Oh, she dated the lead singer of My Chemical Romance and got broken up with. Who fucking cares? And if you guys have ever dated a musician, as I have dated a musician, you would find out she probably dodged a bullet on that one. I am sorry. Musicians are moody as fuck. They are adult children. They need to be taken care of all the time.
Seemingly being promoted. Now, Twitter is promoting her. Elon Musk is promoting her. You know, it's just very strange. And it reminds me of like somebody that has those kinds
You know what
of
they're really pissed about?
right? That is able to.
Do you know what they're pissed about? That she became friends with Musk. I'll bet you that's it. I bet you that's what started this whole thing. ELIZA BLEU got connected to Musk. They all wanted to be connected with Musk. They're all kissing Musk's ass right now. They're like, Elon, she lied to you, Elon. I would never lie to you. She obviously lied to you, but I would never do that. I mean, come on. I don't know how much more obvious this can be. And I'm going to be honest, I was a little unsure going into this because I've seen enough people talking about this now where I was like, okay, maybe there's actually some there. Maybe ELIZA really is a horrible person and I'm totally wrong about her, which I never really thought that I was, because ELIZA came and spoke privately to my locals community. I've heard ELIZA talk about this stuff off camera. She wouldn't have done that if she, like, ELIZA BLEU a little over a year ago came and did a private call with my locals community. Some of you were on that call. If this was just all a grift and she didn't actually care about that stuff, she's not going to go onto private calls where she's not being recorded, she's not being broadcasted over the internet and talk about these things. It just wouldn't happen. If you're only in it for the attention, you don't go to private calls that are not recorded in order to, like, get no attention. It would be a waste of time and energy. So again, I'm not saying that she's perfect, and I was fully expecting there to be more there than what I'm seeing so far. I just don't get it.
Somehow always find themselves having doors opened for them. It's not normal. Like,
she has doors open that you didn't get.
Pull this off. And then being astroturfed or promoted by all of these conservative influencers, you know.
Oh my word, she was promoted and you weren't.
Involvement in Jeffrey Epstein-like behavior, as I've covered in prior videos. We've talked about the Franklin scandal, Boys Town. We've talked about stuff like that, you know. And so it's just very interesting that it seems as if this person was being put out there, and then why? Is it to discredit victims of trafficking? What's the purpose of this? Is it so that people in a vulnerable position, you know, people that are real victims, instead of reaching out to somebody who is legitimate that can help them, they send them to someone like her. They put her out there as someone that, hey, you can reach out to this person. What if she just gets them back into it? Or what if she goes and contacts their trafficker or something? What if she's not actually helping people? I don't know. There's just something about her that really reminds me of Ghislaine.
Oh my God.
Don't forget this.
40 minutes into this, we're like, the only evidence is she had Twitter accounts before she admitted to having Twitter accounts. And I don't know, man, she just reminds me of Ghislaine Maxwell. That's the only evidence you have? I hope ELIZA sues this bitch to high heaven. This bitch has made it, and I am sorry I even chose this video to comment on. I know people like ask me to do it, but it's like, this bitch has made a video calling her a pimp, calling her a trafficker, comparing her to Ghislaine Maxwell, calling her a pedophile, and presenting no evidence at all. Saying, you know, I just have a feeling about it. It must be true because she had Twitter accounts and Elon Musk likes her. This is how ridiculous this smear campaign has gotten.
2020 GoFundMe 3 months into the pandemic for a vacation. All the signs were there. We just didn't want to see it. No, I mean, come on. Wow. There she is. Twitter censorship has hit a height unseen. They disabled inline video.
She used
for
makeup.
Any YouTube video mentioning ELIZA BLEU in any form. Check the threads. I am in shock. Yeah, so we just showed you guys that. Very interesting piece on ELIZA BLEU with some new paper articles I haven't seen before. Goes so far as saying she's America's Nigerian princess. Yo, let's go. Okay, he's spoken with ELIZA BLEU's father, Richard. They want the article to come down. Farron is about to go live on some updates in the ELIZA BLEU saga. Give us the lowdown on her upcoming documentary, Who is ELIZA BLEU? A good clip of
They're making a whole fucking documentary about this.
with Fair and Balanced talking about how she got caught stealing from a Masonic lodge. Creepy.
Oh my
ELIZA
God.
BLEU caught stealing from local lodge and charity. Well, I don't.
This is
who
ridiculous.
Likes Masons. I mean, come on. What the hell? Let's see. Here we go.
This is
post-millennial did it.
This is something that really pisses me off. If any of you trust the post-millennial, this is why I think Libby Emmons is a fucking cunt who should not be listened to ever. Sorry, pardon my language, but she's a fucking cunt. You're gonna tell me the post-millennial? Andy No is a separate issue. Andy No, so far as I'm concerned, is above reproach. I think Andy No is excellent at what he does. Andy No is the only redeeming quality of the post-millennial. The fact that the post-millennial is engaging in hit pieces on this should tell you everything you need to know about these people. I am now more convinced of it than I was before. They are purposefully targeting ELIZA BLEU for cancellation. That whole little fucking cancel mob on Twitter. The post-millennial covered this? Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me?
An article on the ELIZA BLEU drama so far. Blah, blah, blah. Crabman reached out to ELIZA BLEU to straight up fix this mess, and it seems she's been reluctantly quiet about it. Yeah. Okay. Why wouldn't she be? Why would she want...
Why would she acknowledge your fucking insanity?
This to come, like, why would she want to talk about this? Clearly, she doesn't. So here's an article. ELIZA lies. Will the real ELIZA please stand up? Model, groupie, singer, actress, cosmetologist, stripper, sex worker advocate, Yang Gang loyalist, devout Trumpist, ST victim turned advocate and expert, all in a day's work. Yeah. Okay, so editor's note, well, it was never our intent for ELIZA BLEU, aka Eliza Morthland, to be the...
Hang on, I wanna say this. Yeah, they're going to the mattresses for Brittany Venti. Are you kidding me? This is who they're going to the mattresses for. This is who they're engaging in a smear campaign for. Mind-boggling.
The debut report of Damian Moore's Collateral Damage, the anti-HT industrial complex series. We do believe she encompasses everything wrong with the anti-HT industry and America's perception of HT. What we do wish to make clear is that our ELIZA Morthland report will not chronologically be the start nor focus of this living investigative series. Update.
By the way, there's also no reason to use her real name at all. Using ELIZA's real last name provides exactly zero value to this story. It was obvious ELIZA doesn't want to be known by her real fucking name for whatever reason she has. They're basically doxing her. I'm sorry. I'm going to call it what it is. It's doxing.
Both ELIZA Morthland and Richard Morthland refused to participate or provide comment for the story. A My Chemical Romance groupie known for her delusions of grandeur, ELIZA Seep shot to fame within the MCR community after claiming she'd once been engaged to the band's lead singer, Gerard Way, even going so far to write a creepy yet popular fan fiction about their disturbing relationship. The only problem is it just simply wasn't true. Not long after, she emerged as celebrity fashion designer and cosmetologist ELIZA Cutts. The only problem is it just simply wasn't true. Then came ELIZA.
She was ELIZA Cutts when she was running around with My Chemical Romance. And I know because I actually spent like half a day looking into this, probably because I was bored and I was like, what the hell? By the way, did you guys know that Katie Herzog was trolling around the My Chemical Romance Reddit page looking for dirt on ELIZA BLEU? I randomly found this. I was going back, and I remember her from back in the day. I actually remember, like, when I saw pictures of her with Gerard Way, I actually remembered her because that was just, like, the space that I was, like, I wasn't a fangirl, but I was, like, paying attention to it at the time. Anyway, so I was researching all this stuff. I read her fan fiction. Her fan fiction is, like, her fan fiction is sad and poorly written, but it's, like, There was no there in the fan fiction. Honestly, I read the whole fucking thing. It was really bad, but there was no there. And so when I was doing this, I randomly discovered Katie Herzog posting in the My Chemical Romance Reddit asking for gossip and dirt about ELIZA BLEU. And so the reason I bring this up is this person just said on the video that she became ELIZA Cuts after My Chemical Romance. No, she didn't. She was ELIZA Cuts during My Chemical Romance, and I know because I just looked it up last week. So again, this is not credible. This is not true. These people have no interest in reality at all. You want to know why ELIZA's not responding to this? Because why should she? It's all fucking lies.
The nose, stripper and warrior princess for all S workers. She was an in-demand advocate and speaker by day, but by night she was the industry's dirty dancer. The music executives and chart-topping rappers loved, but more importantly needed to push their videos over the edge. Ah, yes, a shining beacon of conservative principles, a true patriot, an example of American exceptionalism. Wait, I confused that last part with another of her interviews, quote unquote. But once again, the only problem is it just simply wasn't true. Yet here she is once again as ELIZA BLEU, staying true to the ELIZA brand, this time a cheap grifter and professional victim. This time, what she's doing is dangerous. Not only is she misleading the public about who she is, but she has not the slightest clue about what actual HT is. It's shameful, and shame on those promoting and defending this fraud, like Elon Musk. The public is already misinformed. Worse, her own definition of HT exposes her as nothing more than a privileged child, taking all the spotlight. Sadly, she's aligned herself with Elon Musk's Twitter, misleading and lying to the public on the world's biggest stage. Providing cover for her corporate masters so they can pretend they are combating CP as it explodes on Twitter. Yeah. Just like her
Where's the evidence?
masters,
Where's the evidence of it exploding on Twitter? Because ELIZA did present evidence that these hashtags and these things that she had been following for years were summarily wiped out pretty much as soon as Musk took over. ELIZA did present that evidence. And now you're saying that it's just exploding on Twitter with no evidence to back it up. Zero fucking evidence.
Every moment someone isn't stroking her ego and praising ELIZA BLEU, she seems to silence and destroy them. She gaslights, then has her psychotic cult dox, harass, and terrorize her perceived enemies, both real and imagined. Then they must sing ELIZA's praise and defend the indefensible. Doesn't give a damn about HT, just like Elon Musk doesn't give a damn about free speech. ELIZA Moreland and Elon Musk's Twitter have done irreparable damage to the fight against child SA and exploitation.
Seriously.
They've made human trafficking a punchline. In November of 2021, American Crime Journal initiated a preliminary investigation into self-proclaimed, quote, humanist and ST advocate and T expert known as ELIZA BLEU. This came following Lynn Packer's reports on ACJ exposing Coco Berthman and Elizabeth Frazier as HT victim/advocate frauds. Suggestions poured in with an overwhelming majority asking us to vet ELIZA BLEU. Despite not being our intent nor mission to vet individuals claiming to be ST victims, the investigation was launched due to the overwhelming interest from our audience and survivors. However, within just a few hours, it was clear ELIZA had severe credibility issues. The investigation was terminated. The reason was simple. ELIZA Moreland lied so much you could just find them with a simple Google search. Even when a celebrity lies, for example, Paula Abdul's claims that she was in a plane crash, this still takes a significant amount of time getting details of what she exactly said on the record, off the record, then speaking with witnesses, finding their statements, getting flight numbers, and learning how it's documented. This alone could take dozens of hours. She's a celebrity. Not ELIZA. It took just 15 minutes, kind of like fame. In our eyes, there was nothing of value or substance to provide.
If it took just 15 minutes, then why aren't you presenting any of the evidence? Yeah, we're already like way ahead of you, and we've already actually dismissed this, Captain Phoenix. Just because someone has a past that you don't like doesn't mean that a smear fucking campaign and a cancel mob is required. If it was so easy to prove that she's an awful person about everything and not just a woman who maybe fudged some stuff from her past, which almost every single human being on the planet has done, then show the evidence. A declaration that something is true with zero evidence to back it up does not make the declaration true. If it is, and especially when you're saying, we just spent 15 minutes on it and it was obvious to us. And then you're writing paragraph after paragraph after paragraph of how it's just so obvious after 15 minutes of work in which you present no receipts from that work.
Open and shut, just that simple. How wrong we were, how wrong I was, and I must apologize. I didn't realize just how big she'd become. Approximately 6 months later, two well-known journalists had approached both Lynn Packer and I asking if we were familiar with her. I suspect they thought if ACJ investigated and published an expose, they had their legal out by simply citing us and using our evidence free from liability in the eyes of corporate media executives. This is exactly what happened with Berthman after all. We declined.
And you guys have seen people showing up in the chat that are just dying to get in on this cancel mob. They're just dying to go for blood. Okay, present evidence. Present evidence. We saw the interview with Malice. Present evidence. I am so sick of this shit. All I have heard, and I've been paying more attention to this over the last week than I really wanted to. All I've heard is the timeline. She said things that don't make sense in this one interview. Put it in context for me. Put it in context with every single other thing that she's done, not the things that you've selected out of context to make her look bad. The vitriol around this is what bothers me most of all. People are dying to cancel this woman. Just like they were dying to cancel Jack Murphy. And listen, man, Jack Murphy, that was kind of a little bit fucked up. And Jack Murphy didn't handle that well. But did Jack Murphy deserve what he got? No, I don't think he did. I'm sorry, I don't think he did. It was stupid. He had sex on the internet. Who the fuck cares? If you are this desperate to have a reason to cancel someone, you need to go to therapy and work on your outrage addiction. And if you expect people to go through life and to not do stupid shit in their 20s, then you're just being unrealistic. You are being absolutely unrealistic.
Long after, during an interview about Coco Berthman with a producer looking to cover her fraud and deceit, Eliza's name was brought up again. He said to me, "You really should check into her." Then a dear friend brought up Eliza yet again, which by now more than a familiar name. This is on top of dozens of emails, including a few from several popular podcasters who were not sure on how to handle what by now we had internally labeled the ELIZA BLEU situation. So I decided to take a second to look into ELIZA BLEU, this time beyond her lies. Right off the bat, here's another woman who invented a silly stripper name.
I'm willing to bet that you can't accurately articulate what my position is on Jack Murphy, even though I literally just said it. Do you want to give it a try? Because I am willing to bet that you are not capable of accurately articulating it, probably because you aren't listening. I know how this goes, guys. I've been on the internet long enough to know exactly how this goes. Give it a try, KD. What is my position that you disagree with about Jack Murphy?
Trying to be cute and exotic. Yes, trying to be cute and wanting you and I to take her seriously as an HT quote unquote expert, all while she accuses people of being anonymous, being fake, and not keeping it real. We also must not forget that just like Coco Berthman, Eliza was peddling the same Lifetime-esque tea story while playing the numbers game, that pesky numbers game that both experts and Lynn Packer warned everyone about. It's knowingly used to, quote, sell you, unquote, and everyone else that will listen with HT horror stories, creating urgency. So you donate money to save a victim now. Again, in less than an hour, it was painfully obvious she had a credibility issue. A few
So
hours
where are
later,
the
we were clearly
receipts?
witnessing a hapless grifter, one who qualifies as America's own Nigerian prince, so to speak. On a message board, a purported psychiatrist had suggested Eliza may
Oh, exactly. So just like I said, you obviously didn't hear the part where I said Jack Murphy didn't handle that well. Precisely. Exactly what I said. And this is the problem with the internet, is that no one listens to other people. This is why on my channel, we watch content from start to finish and we actually listen to what people are saying, not what we want them to say, not what's going to present well as the latest drama moment on the fucking internet. We actually listen to what people say and look at it in context. If you are not willing to do that, you are no better than the woke left. I don't know what else to tell you guys. If you are just jumping from cancel mob to cancel mob to cancel mob to cancel mob to cancel mob, you are no better than the monsters you claim to be fighting. And it is infuriating. It is infuriating to watch this happen over and over and over and over again. How much is this going to impact what ELIZA BLEU was actually working on in the real world for no good reason other than Brittany Venti got her fucking feelings hurt? No, I just don't care. Clearly, this is definitely a conservative. Clearly, you haven't seen the internet archives because Elijah is an ex-prostitute. Are you fucking shitting me? Grow the fuck up. She was a cam girl. Grow the fuck up. Grow up. And now we get to what the real thing is. And this is why, guys, you need to like piece through these smear campaigns when you see them happening. What's infuriating about you is that you don't want to rake cam girls up through the mud. You don't want to rake cam girls through the coals. You don't want to hold mistakes that people have made in their past against them for the rest of their lives. I bet you this person also wants to ban pornography. I bet you this person has participated in multiple cancel mobs, and this person is going to run around the internet smearing someone that they don't know with no discernible goal other than fucking clout. And they're going to get blocked from my chat because I don't suffer that shit. You want to know why the right loses? Because they eat the people that are actually doing work in the real world to placate fucking grifters who just want to be YouTube famous. That's why they lose.
have a fantasy-prone personality, or worse, suffer from some type of dissociative disorder. After consulting
now they're
Packer
saying she's
and
mentally
several
ill.
survivors, we
That's
decided
great.
to terminate the investigation, not out of compassion for Eliza, though mental illness was debated, but is not an excuse. Certainly not because she's the daughter of Richard Morthland, a wealthy Illinois politician and MAGA Republican in real life. Most important of all, under no circumstance do we find her credible, nor do we corroborate a single one of her claims. Worse, there was a substantial evidence to the contrary. Like with Berthman and Frazier, witnesses were more than happy to provide statements and documents. Many had receipts. The primary reason we opted out of exploring Eliza, at least for me, it was my call after all, was that her fraud and deception was so blatantly obvious.
Then provide
just like
receipts.
A Nigerian prince email scam. Why would we report and expose that? Yet professional journalists were asking for us to take the reins, publishing the preliminary expose, and they were to provide a supplementary or complimentary report. Look, we're not.
All right, I want to point something out. And okay, so maybe you can't see it because I just covered it up. This article that apparently has so much credibility, this article that is just the final nail in the coffin for ELIZA BLEU, has Tim Pool's name spelled wrong. Tim Pool's name does not have an E at the end.
Stupid. They're looking for legal.
Guys, just so you know, we might have to delay the start of the community Zoom by just a couple minutes because I want to get through this video, but we're going to make it through. If you can't spell someone's name correctly, you do not have credibility.
Cover. They have investigators, fact checkers, and an editor. Then, should all else fail, they have a legal department with some of the best and brightest legal minds. Except I was assured this wasn't a legal or liability concern from their perspective in the age of #MeToo, because she claimed she was a victim. Corporate media executives are afraid to allow their journalists to do the most basic function, which is to inform and educate the public. For over 2 years, we've been the target of death threats and smear campaigns simply because either we threaten people's worldview or their scams. Independent media has refused to.
No one came to these people asking them to do anything. This is all fake. This is all invented. This is not real.
Fantasies like they're going out of style on their own. They're going full court press with this fraud, and it's so embarrassing because she practically outs herself a half dozen times in even the most pedestrian of interviews. Ben Shapiro, Tim Pool, etc. Now it's getting ready to blow up in their face, but that article is for another day.
Oh, they'll write that
ELIZA
article, but
BLEU
they won't
denies
actually
she's
give evidence
ELIZA
of
Moreland
everything they're
denies
saying.
her MAGA father who supports her.
God.
Interesting. No one in my family is running for governor, blah, 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 blah. Once again, giving ELIZA the opportunity to clear up any misconceptions or put to rest any rumors is issue. Either way, I do agree with your constant stoking of Putin. What? ELIZA replied that Carrie was crazy. Okay. ELIZA with Daddy Morthland from Russia with love. Okay,
Oh, she's not allowed to love her father.
Weird.
Oh, that's
Richard Morthland is a man
God.
that's only known privilege. Coming from one of the wealthiest families in Rock Island County, he inherited the Morthland family farm, state-of-the-art facility sitting on 400 acres in Cordova, a small town outside of what is colloquially known as the Quad Cities. He worked as an associate adjunct professor of speech communication at Blackhawk College, Scott Community College, and Ashford University. He and his wife, Betsy, have been married for over 40 years. They have 2 daughters, Eliza and Bethany. Richard has long served as a proud Republican member of the Rock Island County Board. He served a single term in the Illinois General Assembly from 2011 to 13. His daughter, Eliza, helped with his campaign. Morthland and Verschoor are eager to work together. From the Quad City Times. Morthland is best known as the running mate of State Representative Jeanine Ives in the 2018 Republican primary in Illinois gubernatorial election as MAGA Trump loyalist against incumbent Governor Bruce Rauner and incumbent Lieutenant Governor Evelyn Sanguinetti. Ives and Morthland crumbled in the polls by more than 20 points after running their "Thank You, Bruce Rauner" ad,
I have
which
no
was
idea.
described by both Republicans and
now they're basically talking about her dad running for office. Who cares?
Democrats as racist, homophobic, transphobic, and sexist. I don't know. Maybe it's based. Today, Richard remains on the Rock Island County Board, has embraced fringe MAGA Republican persona as a Putin apologist who advances QAnon conspiracies. What does that even mean? Just 3 months before her repeated denials her father was Richard, ELIZA tweeted, "Just so we are clear, I'm not oppressed or marginalized," to which her mother, Betsy, replied hardly. Wow. Okay. Very interesting. ELIZA's attempt at building a house of cards immediately sank.
So you're saying that ELIZA was so desperate to hide her real identity that she fucking tweeted it and her mother replied, but she is so desperate to hide her real identity? Okay. Yeah, sure.
In quicksand, if ELIZA BLEU is an expose on anyone or anything, it's the gullibility and desperation of a poorly educated people with religious and political ideation so out of touch and unhinged in constant fear. I think that's silly. Blah blah blah, whining about QAnon. Well, wasn't like QAnon like right though about Jeffrey Epstein? I mean,
oh, this person's a Q person. What? That's a Q person. So, got it.
Anyways, you can read the rest of this on your own. If you're interested. Apparently there's going to be more of the coming out of these articles on ELIZA. I guess this is supposed to be, if I understand correctly,
there is no universe in which that was a
a
credible
series
website
on her. I think they said that was one
no
of many. So we'll see what
universe
happens. But it just really makes you wonder, like, what's really going on here? Because I will tell
I
you,
think it's
though,
pretty clear
that
what's
there
really
were
going
a
on
lot of
here.
people on the Con Inc. side that wanted to astroturf the HT, the ST question.
I think it's very
because
clear
they
what's going
know
on
that
here.
they're part of it. They're complicit in that. And they only
This is
want
a
to
Q thing.
pretend that it's
Fucking
just the
Brittany Venti and the
Democrats
Quartering are
doing it or
promoting a
whatever, which
Q
is
thing.
simply not true. So, anyways, I mean, I understand, like, in a way what that article was saying, but let's not pretend, though, that, like, this isn't a real problem, that it isn't happening across the world, that it isn't $1 billion industry in modern day slavery, which it is. So I have a lot of questions about her and what she's been involved with. It sounds to me like she's somebody that was herself, working as a quote unquote sex worker, and also somebody that was potentially involved in luring maybe underage boys to somebody like Jeffree Star. I don't know. Or
Oh
I don't
my
know.
god.
She was
No
around the
evidence.
groupie scene back in the
Zero
day. How do we
evidence.
know she wasn't involved in bringing underage girls to these people in these bands that she was a big groupie for, or hip hop people that she was like a dirty dancer for, a video vixen.
All right, I'm gonna stop. I can't. I have a call with my community pretty soon. Reagan has summed it up beautifully. This super long video took forever and nothing was accomplished. What a complete waste of time with no evidence of anything. I have really looked because listen, man, I think ELIZA is a little rough around the edges. I really do. I like, there are things I'm like, okay, maybe she could tighten that up a little bit. Like, I think it'd make it more effective. But I have never questioned ELIZA's commitment to actually doing the work she's doing. Now, might she be doing that work to attain fame on the internet? Maybe. There are people that do that. But it doesn't take away from what she's actually doing. It doesn't take away that she is legitimately trying to help victims of trafficking. It doesn't take it away that she was trying to raise awareness about these things. The only thing that people have convinced me of is that ELIZA BLEU made stupid decisions when she was young and in her 20s and was a little bit of a band groupie. So fucking what? And now Brittany Venti, who is also young and stupid and in her 20s, and I'm going to bet you in 10, 15 years, Brittany Venti is going to look back at how young and stupid she was in her 20s. And she's going to have some regrets about some of the things she did. And I will bet you money that in 10 to 15 years, things are going to start trickling, skeletons are going to start trickling out of Brittany Venti's closet. There is no way that bitch doesn't have skeletons in her closet already. And she's going to have dozens and dozens more by the time her 20s are done. Knowing the crowd she's involved with. This all started because someone got their feelings hurt and wanted to cancel someone that they considered to be getting more attention and having more status from people that they wanted. If ELIZA BLEU was totally fine in everyone's book until she got chummy with Musk. This shit all started when they were jealous that she had Elon Musk's attention and they didn't. And I think it's gross. And for my supporter community, we're going to be getting started in a second. Well, listen, boom, I also have a Kiwi farm page that has lie after lie after lie after lie about me and people that I love. So I'm not trusting that bullshit either. If you cancel everyone that is trying to do good work, then you are no better than the left. And this stuff is so easy to see through, guys. I hope that some of you who were convinced about this have now seen how easy this stuff is to see through when you actually sit down and watch it. There are no perfect people in this space. There are absolutely 0 perfect people that you are going to find on the internet. There are 0 people on the internet who are going to pass a purity test. There are 0 people on the internet, or quite frankly off the internet, who didn't make stupid decisions in their 20s. Everyone makes stupid decisions in their 20s. That is the time when you are supposed to make stupid decisions. And I'm going to tell you this, if you got through your 20s and you don't regret any of the things you did, then I'm going to bet you're going to look back at your 20s when you're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, and you're going to go, God damn, I didn't live life. Because if you don't have stupid shit that you regret, then you're probably not living life to its fullest. Life is about experience. You're going to make mistakes in life. You're going to have things that don't turn out the way you think they will. But just because someone makes stupid decisions doesn't mean they deserve a mob showing up at their front door. And don't ever complain about cancel culture if you're participating in this shit. Don't ever complain about it. I will not be upset when I see this shit blow back on Brittany Venti someday. I'm not going to participate in it. I'm not going to stroke those fires. Yes, we are having a Zoom today, bot. I'm just wrapping up. We're getting started a couple minutes late. I apologize. But this hits home for me because I've had this shit done to me. It is completely distracting. It deflects from making any progress at all. It accomplishes absolutely nothing. Nothing. The quartering can do all the exposés he wants. He is going to accomplish absolutely nothing. And at what cost? How much are you destroying? What are you losing? I wish people would think about stuff like this before they do shit like this. Yasmin asked, what is the Zoom? Well, Yasmin, I will tell you, for people who are supporters of my work, either by being a member of my locals community, by being a member of my Patreon, or by being a paid supporter on my Substack, we do 2 community Zoom calls every single week. So we do the first one, it's supposed to be starting right now. I'm going to start it up in a second. And it's probably going to go till like 11 o'clock midnight tonight. We do the second one on Wednesdays at noon. These are private calls. These are unrecorded. We can talk about pretty much anything you want to talk about. And we'll be gathering together. And if you want to get in on the action, you're welcome to join at any time throughout the night, whether that be right now or a couple hours from now, because we probably will still be going a couple hours from now. Monday Zooms are Marathon Monday. So how you get access to this is by going over to activelyunwoke.com/support. Sign up as a paying member of my locals, as a supporter on my Patreon, or on my Substack. And guys, if you are a paying supporter on my Substack, carlin.substack.com, what you want to do is go over to the Unwoke Roundup Week 4. And if you scroll down to the bottom, it is going to show you the Zoom link that we will be using today. Yes, Tori, we're doing Zoom. I'm just being a little late tonight. I apologize. I'm going to send the Zoom link out in a second. But guys, if you're looking for the Zoom link and you're a paid supporter on my Substack, you're going to be able to find it there. I think our work here is done. But guys, please mount that like button on the way out the door. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I will be back tomorrow at hopefully 5 p.m., but certainly at 9:30 for Zoom with Joshua. And take care, guys. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.